Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. It's been a while. I know you all missed me. It's okay. I'm still alive. Still producing these amazing thought frequencies that all you love, all you beautiful people love at home. I know. It's all just great. So I was just watching this video by the very brilliant Nassim Haramein, quantum physicist type dude, kind of new agey guru type person. Not really a spiritual guru, but he's got a lot of underlying spiritual wisdom in the stuff he tries to explain through quantum physics. And the thing about this guy is, I know that there are some skeptics out there who have been like outright trying to go against the things he says and trying to say, oh, you're not following the rules of science, all this stuff. And then I've looked at a few of these debates, and some of these people are like, oh, you're crazy, you're going off, and all this crazy stuff. And he's like, well, I'm challenging perfectly challengeable concepts in quantum physics, and I'm doing it, and here's how I'm doing it, here's why I'm doing it, here's the reason why I started, here's the inclination that got me to go on this road, and why it seems logical. And he's breaking these things down, and people, I was looking at a few of these debates, and the people who are trying to downgrade his intellectual accomplishments really had no basis. They weren't really stringing their criticism together in a very logical way. And again, this is just one debate that I had looked up and was looking at. But anyways, yeah, this guy Nassim Haramein, he's onto some real intense shit. So a lot of stuff that he's been onto that is really advanced thinking, in my opinion. The stuff like the holographic universe that I talk about, the type of accomplishments that he's been going off, would fit in that would help that concept to be able to be logically broken down. The idea that the energy frequencies of existence is all interacting, and then us as conscious beings, our experience is largely, we're interacting with that system that's already there, but a lot of what we experience is our own frequencies of thought that are being projected out. And in essence, we're programming this hologram as we're interacting with it. We're sending out frequencies of experience, and we're creating this manifestation. So the idea that he's bringing up is that there's space-time, that Einstein has created this concept of space-time, that space and time react together as one. And Nassim Haramein is like, well, it's really kind of more space memory, because time is just a concept that we've developed through our memory. The only thing that allows us to conceive the idea of time, and that's all it is an idea. Like, sure, we know that there's decay and there's change. The universal word for it would be change. Things change at a regular basis. And then our memory of what it was like before the change and the periods of change consecutively, that's just our memory, and that's how we conceive time. So Nassim Haramein is saying that it's space memory, that the hologram, if you will, or the space, the void upon which we live and interact with, is receiving our memories, and we're creating this frequency structure with our belief systems, our memories, the frequencies that we've been building up thus far, are rippling and staying in this field that we are experiencing. And our planet is an electromagnetic field with gravity that's sustaining this frequency bubble that we're in is it's collecting all the frequencies that we're pooling together and building up as we evolve and as we move forward through time or through memory. And so the interesting concept is all these advancements that have happened. And if you guys don't already know, the 100 monkey experiments, where if you have a whole bunch of monkeys of one species and then you're trying to teach them something, you're trying to create a chemical process in their brains so that they learn a thing, a task, or something. Specifically, they had this one group of monkeys in captivity, and they dropped their fruit that they would eat in sand every time. They dropped the fruit in the sand, and then these monkeys, not knowing any better, would be eating the sand with their fruit every time, every day. And so eventually they learned to the young monkeys learned to wash their fruit off in the water before they'd eat it. And that it didn't catch on very quick until enough monkeys had learned it. Those monkeys taught their parents that and taught their close friends, relatives that. And there was a few monkeys that kind of caught it on. And there was a critical mass stage when enough monkeys learned that method, and then everybody did it. Once there was enough monkeys that built up that memory, built up that frequency in the sphere of existence that these monkeys operated in with their minds, that they built that frequency resonance of understanding, that intelligence rose up to that stage. Once they had enough monkeys sustaining that idea, that frequency in the sphere of their consciousness, then everybody took it on. It hit a critical mass of understanding, and then the entire population took on that understanding instantly. And it was like a small percentage, like 15% of the general population, and then all of a sudden 100% worked up. After that 15% slowly adjusted its foundation of understanding, then the whole rest of the population rose to that level. And that's the thing, is we've got plenty of other examples of where that type of thing happens in human consciousness. Countless inventions have been invented at the exact same, within a few days period, all around the world. And this is going on before we even had communication, across the globe communication. The exact same inventions pops up at like all over the world. And there's countless examples of this type of thing happening, where basically a certain group of people who are able to operate on that level of consciousness build up, they're working together and they build it up, and then they create this foundation. They're like, yes, we've manifested, we understand this level of processing, of thought processing and consciousness. We build this foundation, and then everybody else is like, oh, that's a thing. And then they take it on. They adjust their consciousness to this level. And then that's how we grow in consciousness and in evolution, intellectual evolution. Is that we're all connected in this space memory bubble on Earth. That's what we have. And there was other tests to kind of back this theory up. One of the tests was they had this painting which held within it 5 faces, and then within those 5 main faces there were 50 faces hidden within the whole painting. Hidden in the entire painting, there were 50 faces. But if you looked from a distance, you'd only see 5 faces. So they showed about 100 people this painting. They're like, how many faces do you see? And there's some of them got like 20, 25. There was only a few people who found 30 faces or whatever. Not that many faces. It might even be less than 30. if I remember correctly. It might have just been like 15 tops. But anyways, they showed these people this thing. They did that test. Minutes later, in another country, they broadcasted on the news across all television stations and showed every single face. Not even minutes later, seconds later, they do the same test with another 100 people, a different set of 100, and ask them, okay, how many faces do you see? And instantly, like, this is all happening within minutes of each other in this test. Instantly, the next section of people, on average, are seeing vastly more faces in the painting. And the implicatory conclusion must be that this next group of average human beings is able to operate on a frequency, like, sure, you could say that there's countless of other influences on that decision, but if done enough times, you will see that the average of those people, they're able to tap into what thousands of other people have just learned, have taken into their consciousness and put into this bubble of human consciousness, which wasn't there before. They're tapping into the collective mind. And so one thing that Nassim Haramein is saying is that we are, every single one of our actions, every single thought that we think in our brain is being put into this collective. So it's dangerous if it's going unchecked. It's incredibly dangerous if you have things like the internet, if you've got things that are going viral, that are retarded, if you've got people who have no filter, who are just, let me fucking, let me look at porn all day and then show porn everybody. Like, that can be harmful to a growing brain. That type of stuff. Like, I'm not going to get into the idea of how harmful porn is to your sexual consciousness and your social interactions with normal human beings. But I will openly admit that there's plenty of shit out there that goes viral that's not very productive. Like, fidget spinners is the next thing. Everybody's loving these fidget spinners. It's not harmful, but is it productive? Probably not. It's not really that productive. You're sitting there spinning the fucking top. You're spinning some shit. Oh, great. You're really helping out humanity with that one. Meanwhile, there's people who are coming up with, like, incredibly advanced, like, methods of thought, methods of consciousness, understanding, well-being, physical well-being, health well-being, mental well-being, being able to, stay in a calm manner of thinking and stay meditated while you're walking around. Advances in this type of consciousness progression, all kinds of stuff that's coming out, stuff that I'm trying to push, out in the system, out in the YouTube, out in the stream of human consciousness is, you can advance your brain, you can get farther in your consciousness if you step out from the box, if you're stepping away from the group thought, the herd thinking. It's people who step outside of the box who are able to say, hey, maybe there's a better way to do things, or hey, maybe there's a different way to do things, that really shake things up and allow us to evolve. It's all the people that are like, oh, you're not doing it right, keep doing it the way we've been doing it. Those people are fucking holding us back. Those are the people that are trying to hold Nassim Haramein back. He going through school, all of his teachers, all these people are like, hey, no, you're asking questions that should never be asked, because we've got this. This is the foundation that we have to work with in order for us to move forward. That's exactly the opposite of what you should be saying. You should be saying, test the foundation that we're trying to move forward on. Either move forward on the foundation, or better yet, break the fucking foundation and build a better one. You fucking noobs. We've got an entire civilization. 90% of the influence on our social demographic is to not challenge the system. We've got a whole bunch of old fucks in the system, politicians, old ass fucking teachers who are like, no, keep doing it my way. Keep doing it my way, you fucks, because I'm the king now. Keep me being the king and you'll be fine. And it's like, no, you fucked. Look at the world. We're fucked. We're fucking our fucking planet up. We're fucking each other in the ass, and not in a good way. It's fucked. The whole system's fucked. And it's like, we've got this entire system. I don't even know if I want to get started on how fucked up the system is. Economy is dumb. It's so dumb. The economy. The whole concept of consumerism and capitalism is retarded. And if you don't think so, ask yourself, is it good to be building things to break? Everything, not every single thing, but most things, technology, cars, computers, fucking coffee makers, microwaves, fucking all these products, light bulbs. The perfect example, Nikola Tesla was like, oh hey, check out this light bulb I built. Motherfuckers, it doesn't ever die. It never breaks. It never runs out of light. It's gonna keep giving light forever. And it's never gonna wear out. Check this out. He went and took this light bulb to a light bulb manufacturer, and he was like, check this out. And at first the light bulb manufacturer was like, this is pretty neat. Maybe I should hop on this train. It's pretty awesome. And then he got thinking, he was like, what will happen to my business if I sell all these light bulbs and then nobody ever needs light bulbs anymore? I'm going to be out of business. I'm going to stop. My whole factory's going to break down because people are going to have what they need and not going to need me anymore. Instead, think about if we built those light bulbs and that guy was just like, oh, my work is done here. Why don't I hop on some other train and build some other great thing for humanity that never needs to be replaced? Think of if every single car on the market lasted 50 years. We would still have the very first car all the time. It's like, open your minds to the concept that we don't need to break things to have profit. Think about how counterintuitive that is. The idea that you need to make something break to get value. You're making shit value and getting this illusion of value that we created money is not real. It's not a real thing. Get that through to the nexus of your intelligence, the source of your consciousness. Try and understand. Value in the form of money is an abstract concept, kind of like time, that we have created to help our society. It's like an abstract number that doesn't actually exist in the real world, but can help us produce mathematical equations that do help us in the real world, but it's not a real thing. So real value is your life, is your stability in life, is the ability to feed yourself, to be happy, to have value in your life. Things that add value to your life. Money doesn't add value to your life. It's the things, it's the sustenance of your life that adds value to your life. Really, in actuality, your life is the only valuable thing. If you've got all the food in the world, the food's valuable, but if you don't need that food, it's no longer valuable. Being fed is the real value. Having sustenance and being sustained, that's the only value there. So we've put value on the material things instead of the true value is our experience as living beings. That's the only real value. So we put value on all this food, and then as a result, we have millions of supermarkets that throw food away because they can't get this illusion of value from this physical thing that they're trying to profit off of. Instead, they could have been feeding millions of people, which is valuable. Think about how valuable that is to that person who doesn't have enough food to pay for that thing. Instead of that food being thrown away for no money, it could be feeding somebody for no money, right? Instead of a million cars breaking down so that they could get another car built, and then all that waste, all that garbage is just going into this entire fucking just garbage fucking hamster wheel of garbage being produced. Instead, just build it properly the first time, and then everybody's happy. Instead, we've built an entire economy on people who are like, I don't care if my product lasts. I only care about getting that product out of my hands and money in my hands. This illusion of value. So there's been native people who have predicted this, decades ago, hundreds of years ago. They're like, this idea of economy, this money, this system of money is a parasite. If you look at it, if you're able to conceptualize it as a thing, it's a parasite on our human consciousness. We've built this concept, we've manifested in the abstract realms this parasite that is literally devouring valuable things. It's devouring resources. It's devouring lives. Think about that. It literally is devouring lives because we've built this concept up and we're sustaining it. This concept of money. And it's not that money, physical money, or the concept of money is bad. It's how we go about trying to get money. We're greedy. We're so greedy. Our entire system of thought is just infected with this idea of us needing to fight to survive. When really, if we worked together, if we simply built things with the idea of working together in mind, we wouldn't have so much lack. We wouldn't be wasting so much things. Everybody would have something. Everybody would have everything they need. It would be so simple. We could, every single area, basically, of the economy, the food system. I tried to explain that. If you don't understand it, ask me. If you don't understand it, there are countless other voices out there that can explain it better than me, apparently, because I'm just getting hyped up on ranting. It's getting me angry, to be honest. It's fucked. I went to school for renewable energy and green construction techniques. The entire system of housing is built ineffectively. It's built, the entire system is just pop-out houses, which are inefficient, unhealthy to live in. All the fumes of those products are all synthetic. All the insulation, all the drywall, all the dust in the drywall, everything is it's like, if you breathe that shit in, it fucks you up. It's unhealthy. Whereas if you're building a house out of hempcrete, fucking you could build things way cheaper. A little bit slower, mind you, but it would be way more efficient in the end. The idea of building a house that doesn't need to use electricity to stay cold in the summer and hot in the winter. It doesn't even need electricity. It's that efficient. Your own body heat will keep it that hot. as hot as you need it. It will keep the house as hot as your body is. Just by being in there. It sustains the temperature in there. It keeps it. It doesn't waste temperature. It's so fucked. Everything is fucked. It's so fucked. The fucking oil companies are just like, oh yeah, fuck all these better systems, these more efficient systems. We want a car that's wasting gas so that we can sell more gas and create more pollution. These huge companies that are just destroying ecosystems, like just accidentally leak out all this oil and kill all these animals and plants off. This entire ecosystem is ruined because they fucked up. Oh, don't worry, we'll just pay the fucking government. We'll just pay all these politicians and lawyers off. It doesn't matter. We'll just fucking... It's fine. Money is not the problem. It's the way we think. It's the way we think about value. Value is not in the product. It's in the life. We need to sustain our life and make our lives better and make everybody's life better, or else it won't work. Keep in mind, we're putting these thoughts out into the bubble of our collective mind. We are all connected in this intellectual level, this thought frequency plane. We literally have entire masses of money and people who are trying to hold back certain evolutionary progresses. Think about it. The oil companies are trying to hold back efficiency. They're trying to hold back the production and progression of the electric car, of solar powered cars and stuff like that. Just look into it. There's a ton of information on all these inventions that have literally been held back. If you're ballsy enough, look up Stan Meyer. Stan Meyer is a genius who figured out, supposedly, how to run a vehicle on water. Water is H2O, okay? That's 2 hydrogen molecules and 1 oxygen molecule. Hydrogen is extraordinarily flammable, and so is oxygen. Oxygen needs to be present in order for a fire to be ignited. So right there, that's all you need to have ignition. That's perfect fuel right there in water. You just need to separate the bond in the water to make it fuel. So Stan Meyer invented a spark plug that when the water in your gas tank, instead of gasoline, goes into the ignition, into the engine, and is ignited, it's separating the bond of hydrogen and oxygen, and you're turning the piston by doing this, by separating it. And so he ran his car. He drove from the East Coast to the West Coast, or vice versa, I don't know, on just water. And he was inventing this thing, and he was about to start selling them. He was telling everybody about his spark plugs that could single-handedly make you run water in your car. And the government, the CIA, went up to him, and they were like, you can keep driving your car on water and not pay for gas? This was the CIA. This wasn't even a hired gun from the oil companies. This was government agents. They went to him and they were like, if you keep telling people about this, we'll kill you. Shut up. You can drive your car for free on water, or we'll kill you if you keep telling people. And he didn't. He kept telling people. Kept telling a bunch of people. And so they murdered him. They murdered him. And if you look at the evidence around his death, it's incredibly suspicious. Everything about his life is incredibly suspicious and is like, there's obviously something fishy going on. I've told countless people, and there's skeptics who believe in science, who believe in this system of thinking, so the old way. I'm going to outright say it. This is an old way of thinking. This bubble of thought is not evolving. This bubble of thought frequency that we are in, that society is like, you can have this bubble, but don't try and think about something better. You can't think about something better because we have this. That's what education is doing. That's what the government is doing, and that's what the businesses are trying to sustain that lesser bubble. And Stan Meyer hopped out of that bubble and thought outside of the box and was like, maybe I can run my car on water. And he was doing it, apparently. If I tell people who are skeptic, pseudo-intellectual minds who are just following intellectual orders, they're like, thermodynamics doesn't allow for that type of thing to happen. You're not allowed to get... Things aren't that efficient. We have to be in this realm of inefficiency to make anything happen. You can't be more efficient than what we have right now. That's what they're basically, their mind process is thinking along those lines. They're like, those things are impossible, you know? And it's like, here, you can look up the blueprint or the patent of how we did it online. Look up Stan Meyer's blueprint. It's complex. I don't understand it personally, but I do understand that there's a lot of shit that we're not even close to tapping into because the system is so fucked. Have you ever heard of an end machine? I don't even want to going off on all these technologies that are been suppressed because there's a lot out there. If you start looking into it, if you start open up your mind to the possibility, because if you are not open to that possibility, and you start looking into it, you'll probably start shielding yourself from that possibility. If you're not capable of reaching that frequency of the possibility of thinking out of that box, if you're still in the frequency, you've got your eyes open, but you're still in the old way of thinking, you're not going to see the things that are outside of the box because your eyes can only see what your brain is capable of comprehending. That's a fact. Your brain is not going to allow your eyes to see what your brain cannot handle. So we are stuck. Humanity is presumably in the muck of the old way of thinking. We're thinking not outside of the box. We're too busy on fucking social media, fidget fucking spinners. We're too caught up in all the bullshit, watching fucking sports. You know what sports is? Sports is the Colosseum of the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire was a shady-ass fucking government. They were controlling the shit out of their entire population. They were defeating all these nations and gathering together this entire vast population of slaves. And they were like, oh, it's okay, we're ruling these people in a completely corrupt and unjust way and being totally selfish. But don't look at us. Here's the Colosseum. Look at the Colosseum. It's incredibly entertaining. Don't waste your time thinking about politics and thinking about how resources are being spent, and who cares about the shady business that's going on in your government. Just pay attention to this Colosseum. That's what sports is. That's what entertainment is. And that's what now social media is. And fucking music, the music industry. It's all it is. It's distraction. It's like, look at this bullshit. Look at that bullshit. Why do you think that you don't have any smart-ass fucking people preaching smart-ass shit in music? You don't have a lick of wisdom in the media and fucking the music. You have a little bit of symbolic wisdom in Hollywood, but you have to have the wisdom first to decipher it in these images. No idiot is going to watch, what's a movie with some wisdom in it? Like, even The Lord of the Rings has wisdom in there. But do these people who watch it gain enlightenment from watching that movie? No. Because you don't just get it for free. You have to learn it first, and then understand, break down these stories in a manner that you understand. The Matrix is full of crazy wisdom. If you've never heard of Plato's Cave, I know I've talked about it before. Plato's Cave is an incredibly mind-opening allegory by Plato. It was written BC, 300 BC. And he knew it back then. He was like, society's fucked. Society is a system of lies. And there's millions of people just falling for this trap, who just get into this thought pattern. They're stuck on the thought frequency. They're unable to step outside of that box and think about new ways of doing things. Think about fucking new inventions and progressive ideas that we can all advance towards. We can all think about how fucked up the government is. It's not democracy. It's based on, oh my gosh, I don't even want to get started on this. The idea of government is fucked. It's influenced by money hardcore. It's influenced by, these people get to make these decisions selfishly. It's not about the greater good. Even if we think it's a democracy, it's not about the greater good. And even if it was about what the mass population wanted, if you asked the mass appeal what they wanted, they'd probably give you some dumb answer, because they're all fucking programmed by the dumb fucking programs of society. They'd be like, oh, what do you want, fucking masses? Fidget spinners! We want fidget spinners! That's all we want! We don't want fucking fairness and equality. We don't want free healthcare. We don't want free food for the masses or free shelter for everybody. All these things that increase the quality of life, the real value of your life, the things that sustain life as a whole. Life is the valuable thing, but yet everybody's voting for war. Oh, I wonder why so many people who hate getting shot, who wants to get shot at? That's what war is getting shot at and bombed. Who wants that? Yet you're being fucking programmed by all these fucking idiot systems. Are like, psst, psst, you should probably vote for war, because if you don't, you'll get war. Don't you not want war? So yeah, vote for war. It's like, wake the fuck up, people. You guys are fucking, I'm sorry. I'm getting angry. Okay, we need to, maybe it's a good thing I wore this shirt today, because I'm ready to fight some fucking crime. I'm ready to fight for justice. I think I could solve all these problems up in my brain. Every problem on earth, I think I can solve. I don't think it's that fucking hard. Just fucking wake the fuck up and start working to solve these problems instead of perpetuating the fucking problem. Which is what we're fucking doing. We're making these problems worse. And we're like, yeah, that's a good solution. More war, more guns. Yeah, that's a great solution. More chemicals on your food. That's a great solution. More cars and machines that use pollution, that make pollution. Yeah, great. More inefficiency. Great. More products that just break within 5 years. That's fucking great. Wake the fuck up, people. This is dumb. You have only yourselves to blame. We are perpetuating this system mentally. We're putting this mental bubble out in our world of, this is how we're functioning right now. If you want to look at the way the collective brain is functioning, just look. The proof is in the pudding, people. We have war, we have suffering, we have self-destruction. We are poisoning our bodies willfully. Think about it. That's how we're thinking. That's how the majority of people are like, yeah, I want to kill myself by poisoning myself. I want to kill others by poisoning them and shooting them. And also, this beautiful thing called planet Earth and nature that has sustained us for millions of years. This beautiful thing that only gives and sustains life. All the most valuable things that we've ever known have come from nature. Yet, let's kill it. That's how fucked up we are thinking right now. That's all it is our thought patterns. We're just thinking fucked up thoughts, and then it becomes manifest in our reality, because that's how we are functioning. It's plain and simple. So, I know that there's a lot of people out there that don't understand these concepts, and I really pray that you try to maybe watch this video twice. Maybe watch all my videos twice. Maybe that's all we'll do. Maybe watch the video Kymatica. I know it's an advanced, I'll link it. It's an advanced video of thinking processing. And it's just theories. There's a lot of theories, but the underlying wisdom in the video is fucking true. It's truth. I'll link a video on Stan Meyer. I'll link this video Kymatica. It's up to you guys to start changing the way we think. I've been changing the way I think for fucking decades. I've been stepping outside of this ignorant ass fucking box of thought for my whole life. I hate it. It's fucked. But I'm mentally programmed that way. If you want to test the way, check out the way you're mentally programmed online. The free Myers-Briggs test. It's funny because I'm bringing up Myers-Briggs and Stan Meyer. Both same name. Imagine that. What a coincidence. I'll link those three things for you. Stan Meyer, the Kymatica video, and the test to see how you're mentally programmed in your brain. I'm mentally programmed to test ideas and make them better and find truth. I'm called the debater. So I debate. I step outside of the box and I play devil's advocate and I challenge authority. I'm literally programmed to challenge authority. Because authority is, if you haven't noticed, fucking retarded. Anyways, so there's two completely random things that have no relation with each other. I'm linking to this video. Here you go. Have some knowledge, hopefully. Hopefully we can fix this planet. And I think it's entirely easy to do. I think we can do it as long as people are in agreement that what's bad is really bad, and what's good is really good. What's good? Life, connection, happiness, harmony, working together. All those things are great. What's bad? War, destruction, lying to each other. That's bad. Yet we do it. Slavery. That's bad. Yet our entire society is based around the concept of slavery. What do you think authority is? What do you think the idea of having a leader leading other people? One person who's a human being, just like the rest of us, gets to say, oh, you can do that, but you can't do this. You have to do this, but you can't do that. And if you do this, I'm going to have you killed or imprisoned. That's fucking slavery. You don't have freedom to do what you want? That's slavery, people. I'm not even going to get started on the complete delusional idea of authority, because it's a whole other discussion. Look up, I already linked it in my last video, the natural law videos of Mark Pazio. He talks about it, he maps it out perfectly. The idea of slavery in our general society is authority. The idea that you can give one person power. You give one person the idea of being God. Instead of using truth as God, if God made this universe, then all truth is God. That's plain and simple. Gnostic way of thought. Why don't we just honor truth as God? Instead of making this illusion of a being that's God who's not based on truth. Instead of giving humanity the powers of God to rule over other human beings and rule over nature, if they don't adhere to truth and morality. They don't adhere to compassion and connection and harmony in this world. If they're destroying things, why do we still give them power? Our entire civilization has been giving the power to destructive minds for hundreds, thousands of years. We've never thought about it as if we're under an intellectual parasite of thought. We're literally thinking Wrong thought. We're thinking slave think, people. Anyways, I need to stop this video because I'm getting way too worked up and I'm going off on a fucking tangent. It's brutal. So with that, I'm going to tell you all, love is law. Love under will. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Peace.